Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Mike Tomlin reveals pecking order in Steelers quarterback room. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson is in position to be the team's starter in 2024, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. Tomlin talked at length with reporters about the team's quarterback situation as league meetings began on Sunday, March 24 in Orlando, Florida. Wilson will start the 2024 season at the top of the depth chart, while Justin Fields, who the Steelers acquired on March 16 from the Chicago Bears, will be his backup. "We've been very transparent about the pecking order, at least to start," Tomlin told reporters, via ESPN's Brooke Pryor. "I just think that provides clarity for all parties involved. Russell is a veteran man. He's got a proven process of readiness. He's been in this league a long time. He's capable of rallying troops, receivers, tight ends, running backs, etc. He's just got a lot of experience in terms of what it takes to be the guy over the course of a 12-month calendar, and I just think that that's something that a younger guy like Justin could learn from." Tomlin said designating Wilson as the starter gives the team a clear path as it prepares for the 2024 season. "It provides clarity for all parties involved as they do some of the informal things that competitors do this time of year, whether it's coming together to work out at destinations and things of that nature. Rest assured, when it's time to compete, they'll be given an opportunity to compete, and it will allow those guys to sort themselves out." The Steelers will have complete turnover in its quarterback room for the 2024 season after trading Kenny Pickett, releasing Mitch Trubisky, and losing Mason Rudolph in free agency. Wilson appeared to impress in early conversations with the Steelers. Tomlin told reporters one of the more attractive things about Wilson was his knowledge of the team. "Prior to those conversations happening, he knew a lot about us, where we are, where we've got a desire to go, personnel, etc., Tomlin said, via team contributor Dale Lally. "I think probably the most attention-grabbing component was how thorough he had been in the research process regarding us." Wilson appeared in 2 Super Bowls with the Seattle Seahawks, winning one in 2014. He was also selected to 9 Pro Bowls. In the last 2 seasons with the Denver Broncos, Wilson threw for 6,594 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 19 interceptions. Still, the Broncos went 11-19 in games Wilson started. He was sacked 100 times in those 2 seasons. On March 4, the Broncos announced they planned to release him. The team will eat the vast majority of Wilson's $39 million salary as a result of the move. It made for a cheap opportunity for the Steelers. The team signed Wilson to a 1-year contract for the league minimum $1.21 million, according to the Denver Gazette's Chris Tomasson. Tomlin believes Wilson is far from finished at 35 years old, which also stuck out in their conversations. "This guy's got a vision of what he wants his career to look like. And he's got a lot of work to do. Obviously, he's had some professional challenges, particularly in recent years, and he appears to be a guy that wants to meet those challenges head-on and continue to move forward with his career, and that was attractive." Though Wilson is set to be the Steelers' starting quarterback in 2024, Tomlin didn't close the door on Fields getting the opportunity to compete for the job. "He oozes talent and potential," Tomlin said, via the Tribune Review's Joe Rutter. "He's worn the responsibility of being a franchise quarterback. Still, he gets an opportunity to come into a community-like situation and gets to learn from a guy who has been doing it for over a decade. Man, there is a lot of meat left on that bone. I'm just excited about working to be a part of extracting it." Fields was a surprise acquisition following the trade that sent Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles. Steelers signed former Philadelphia Eagles starter at wide receiver. The Pittsburgh Steelers have added another wide receiver to their depth chart. They had become very thin at the position after they traded Deontay Johnson, leaving themselves with George Pickens and Calvin Austin as the only receivers on the roster who had made a catch for them in 2023. Since the trade, they brought in Van Jefferson to add some depth at the position. Now they've gone out and gotten themselves another veteran receiver, and this time it's a receiver who isn't going to need to move very far to join his new team. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Steelers are signing former Philadelphia Eagles receiver Quez Watkins. Back in 2020, the Eagles made the wide receiver position a focus of their draft. In the first round, they selected Jalen Reagor out of TCU with the hope he'd be their next star at the position. Unfortunately, it was a decision that didn't work out, and Reagor didn't even end up finishing his rookie deal with the team. Luckily, Reagor wasn't the only receiver they drafted that year. The Eagles also landed Watkins in the 6th round of the 2020 draft, and things worked out quite a bit better for him in Philly. Watkins' career started out slowly. He made just 7 catches for 106 yards as a rookie, but he became a much bigger part of the offense in year 2. In his second season, Watkins surpassed Reagor and finished 3rd on the team in receptions and yards. He made 43 catches for 647 yards that year. Then the team added A.J. Brown, and Watkins saw his target share take a hit. In 2022, his numbers came down to 33 catches for 354 yards. This past season, he saw his role diminished even further. He made just 15 catches for 142 yards in 9 games. It certainly wasn't the ending Watkins would have wanted in Philadelphia, but he was able to put together a solid 4 years there despite being a late-round pick in a draft where the team had already made a significant investment at his position. Now he gets to stick around in Pennsylvania for another year and try to earn himself a consistent role in a new offense. Since trading Johnson, the Steelers have now made moves to add a couple of veterans at wide receiver. Unfortunately, neither of them is actually a replacement for Johnson. Jefferson and Watkins both had their best season back in 2021, and neither has reached 400 yards in a year since. Both should find themselves competing with Austin to be the team's WR3. This Steelers team took big steps toward improving their offense this offseason. Those steps aren't going to mean much if their quarterback has limited options to throw to. The team has added some solid depth at the position, but they still need to go out and get a WR2 that capitalize on the attention Pickens is going to get from opposing defenses. If they don't, this offense might not look a whole lot better than it did in 2023. Cowboys could enter free agency race with Steelers for ex-Bengals WR. The Dallas Cowboys have yet to add a receiver after setting Michael Gallup for release, but one former Cincinnati Bengals WR is still available. It won't necessarily be cheap, but Tyler Boyd may have the best resume of any free agent receiver still available. The reason Boyd is available is due to his contract demands, more on that below, but it's still surprising that he hasn't come to some form of deal with the Bengals or another team yet. Even in a down year, Boyd was still an important and effective weapon on a Bengals offense that navigated the loss of QB Joe Burrow halfway through the 2023 season. Boyd's 667 yards in 2023 was his lowest total since his second NFL season in 2017. Normally, that kind of regression is concerning, but being able to produce with a backup throwing the ball is encouraging. Boyd plays bigger than his 6'2" frame and is a different enough WR from the likes of CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks that he could have a critical role in the Cowboys' offense. That being said, Dallas' current approach in the market certainly doesn't point toward a big WR signing. In recent weeks, Boyd has been linked to a move to the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, things seemingly cooled down as fast as they heated up due to Boyd's contract demands. According to The Athletic's Mark Kaboly, Pittsburgh doesn't want to meet those numbers. They're trying to wait out Tyler Boyd, Kaboly said on 93.7 The Fan. I'm not quite sure how that's going to end up going down here. I know that he wants to get paid more than they're offering him. That opens the door for Dallas or any other team potentially interested. However, it's not clear what Boyd is asking and what the Steelers' ceiling is. Spotrac estimates that Boyd's market value is around $8.7 million a year, and that a 3-year deal is appropriate. The Cowboys only have about $5 million in cap space right now, but covering the rest wouldn't be much of a challenge. Fans have already seen the team restructure QB Dak Prescott's contract, and a similar move could open up the funds. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Tyler Boyd? Leave your opinion in the comments.